Coming up on Mountain News this morning, a local shopping center prepares to welcome a new business to its lineup, and a local arts alliance welcomes back a beloved event for the whole family to enjoy.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning to you at 6:32 on this Thursday, on this Friday Eve. I'm Dakota Makris. We can't thank you enough for joining us this morning. Let's take it over to Brandon for a look at our foggy start to the morning. You showed the Pikeville. You all can't see it, but you will. The Pikeville camera's right here.
They can see it behind me, actually.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, they can. Yeah, all that fog. Yeah. So
that's pretty thick back there. So we're going to show it to you on air here in a second. But our Pikeville Medical Center camera is still down this morning. Hopefully we can get that back online. We have to contact some folks on that one. But we'll take a look and see what's going on here this morning. And Pikeville Commons there, US 119, US 23. And it is absolutely foggy this morning. I'm sure the PMC camera would show the same thing. So be careful out there. Give yourself plenty of time to get around. Temperatures 28 Irvin, 34 in Pikeville this morning, 35 Monticello, 36 London, and the warm spot in the region, 39 in Jacksboro right now. Temperatures this afternoon to the mid-50s with some sunshine peeking through. Clear skies tonight, but still down into the 30s for overnight lows. Dakota?
All right, Brandon, thank you. Kentucky State Police say the suspect in a high-profile Madison County murder has confessed to the charges against him. Shannon Gilday is accused of shooting and killing Jordan Morgan during a violent home invasion in February. Troopers say he detailed watching the home of former state representative Wesley Morgan in the lead-up to the home invasion, ways to get into an underground bunker on the property, and even times those inside would wake up and go to sleep, saying he was ready for anything.
He had prepared himself to have to force his way into the residence by whatever means necessary.
State police add in a 3-hour-long interview with Gilday, he said he believed he had to get in the home to access an underground bunker for security, believing he and his family were not safe given recent world events. Yesterday, the judge found probable cause and sent the case to a grand jury. A Pepsi employee in Corbin was arrested on March 3rd for an alleged theft totaling more than $47,000. Police say the suspect was taking photos of parts inside of the plant and posting them on eBay to sell. They say Joshua Tuttle admitted to stealing the items. Detectives found more than $19,000 worth of Pepsi equipment in his vehicle and home. During the arrest, police say they also found hydrocodone pills in his jacket. With February in the rear view, so is Black History Month, but students and staff at the University of Pikeville are trying to keep the stories of Black influence flowing, one image at a time. Our buddy Forbes stopped by the Weber Art Gallery for a glimpse at the Black Excellence and Culture exhibit.
A museum full of moments.
It brings a certain statement to let others know that we are the Black community. We do exist. We will have a voice.
Moments lived by people who were part of something far more.
They have impacted me and others in this time and age, and even in the past, and they continue to impact others who are growing up because we look up to these leaders like no one else does.
The Black Excellence and Culture exhibit shares snapshots of Black history at the University of Pikeville, a timeline of talents and teachers.
Through art, through literature.
Those who stood and those who spoke.
Through dances, through music.
Some with their words, others with their work.
A lot of times we can't use our power of speech, so we have to express, we have to step out, we have to do it our way.
A room full of mosaics made by people. People who are themselves mosaics, made up of the many pieces paid for by the Black icons they celebrate.
So as you get closer, you start to see things that they struggle with, things that like they've been through that built them into the person that they are today.
Saying just because you didn't live it doesn't mean you shouldn't learn it.
Sometimes you got to really just get to know them. That's the biggest thing. Once you really get to open up and kind of expand, and just how they expanded through February and keep it pushing, and this museum is showing that it's going past February. That means a lot.
Because it's not Black History Month, it is a Black History movement.
Yes, that's exactly what it is.
In Pikeville, Buddy Forbes, WYMT Mountain News.
Well, the exhibit is closed this week for spring break, but will reopen Monday, inviting the community to see the Black history that built some of today's bears. The Kentucky Senate has voted to establish Dolly Parton's Imagination Library book gifting program statewide. The legislation now heads to the House for a vote with the goal of inspiring a love of reading. The voluntary program gifts books each month to children from infancy to 5 years old, free of charge to families through funding that will be shared by Parton, Kentucky State's government, and community partners.
Inspiring kids to love to read became my mission. In the beginning, my hope was simply to inspire the children in my home county. But here we are today with a worldwide program that gives a book a month to over 1 million children. Let's share this dream that all children should grow up in a home full of books. The first step is always the hardest, but you will never know unless you try.
The program launched back in 1995, where books were first distributed to kids who were living in Sevier County, Tennessee, where Dolly grew up. A storefront in a prominent Hazard shopping center sat vacant for much of the pandemic, but now it has a new tenant. Ollie's Bargain Outlet will open in early May at the Black Gold Shopping Plaza. Officials with the company say its stores typically employ around 50 people. Ollie's is known for selling name brand merchandise at discounted prices. For City of Hazard officials, this opening is part of a larger economic growth strategy.
Anytime you go into a town, you don't want to see the vacant buildings, because if they sit there too long, what happens? They become run down, vandalism. Next thing you know, no one wants to move into the mall.
City officials say this opening is worth celebrating, along with the 16 businesses that opened downtown in the last year. Well, the Appalachian Arts Alliance is hosting Thursdays on the Triangle in downtown Hazard, and the first one of the year, well, that's today. Food for the event will be provided by Shenanigans. Hazard Coffee Company and Dreaming Creek Brewery will be providing the drinks, and there will be live music by Waylon Nelson. The event begins at 5 this evening and goes until 8 o'clock. One local production company is helping young models from across the world and here in the mountains begin their careers. WYMT's Jordan Mullins has more from Steadfast Creative Arts Productions and its mission to bring New York fashion to Eastern Kentucky, as well as having Appalachian women represented in high-end modeling.
Steadfast Creative Arts Productions has taken models from across the world and here in the mountains to New York Fashion Week for several years now. But owner Grace Brooke Hall is on a mission of her own.
A lot of people here, they're beautiful, but they don't know it. And I've seen the need for them to empower themselves and to be able to create something. They always said there's nothing here, but how about create something?
A mission to bring New York fashion and high-end modeling to the mountains.
Not a lot of people can afford to go to New York, but because it's expensive, so we want to bring New York to the mountains.
Taking young Appalachian women and putting them on the runway.
I come from a place to where I can ride my ATV all day long, and I can tear it up in the mud, I can go hunting, and I can also be that girly girl and step out of my comfort zone and wear the high heels.
Giving them a platform to build a potential career.
If you're scared to do it, sometimes it's good to get out of your comfort zone because the end result might be incredible or amazing.
As well as to build hope and self-confidence. In Pikeville, Jordan Mullins, WYMT Mountain News.
Well, local models are just as talented and beautiful as anywhere in the world, and they're always looking for new local models for upcoming local fashion shows.
Coming up on 6:41, as we head out the door this morning, we're going to continue to see some cool temperatures out there. 28 Irvin, getting close to the 20s there. Logan at 30, Prestonsburg at 31. 36, though, London and Somerset, 37. Middlesboro and Harlan this morning, 34. Wise, 35 in Clintwood. Coffee forecast, since we're all sleep deprived anyway, we're looking at a little extra because of the temperatures, and of course, maybe a little bit more, especially in those areas that are a little bit colder. Breakfast forecast today. Cold this morning, but we're heading up into the 50s with some sunshine later on this afternoon. Dakota?
All right, Brendan, thank you. The time is 6:41. Still to come here on Mountain News this morning. There seems to be a light at the end of the tunnel in the fight against COVID-19. Stay with us.